love is a nebulous word. Again, it's like all the other words that we've used. Love is a very, very difficult word. I bandy it around and throw it around all the time as though it's, you know, one time it means this almost, and another time it means that, and so it's easy to almost get kind of confused about it, because I don't. What I mean in a way by love is not a feeling. It's kind of deeper than that. It's peace. There's a peace. It's like peace and love. They're interchangeable as states of existence or states of consciousness, should we say. It's not even a state of consciousness. It is consciousness. So the love that I talk is not something that you give to somebody else, neither is it something that you can get from somebody else. It's not object defined. Yeah, so just that needs to be clear, that it's not object defined. It's just the resting in being is what I mean by love, resting in being. Now, if you've moved through, or you're dealing with the machinations of the mind and its fears and all of the stories and the stuff that goes on, that gets you a long way, because then you're starting to see your patterns. You start to see all of the patterns that have been playing themselves out in your life, running your life, driven maybe usually by emotions, thoughts and emotions, same thing, inherited from when you were young, from childhood usually. And then there's the issue of the heart, the tenderness of the heart, because as the intelligence or the wisdom or the depth or the fire, the fire that's burning in you to know that there's something else for you, as that starts to almost come down, if and I'm using that term loosely as well, it comes down. If there is protection, if there is a wall of protection around the heart, then it's a block. Then you've got a blockage, right? Then it's like there's vulnerability in there, there's innocence in there, there's a fear in there, there's anger in there, there are all sorts of things in there that have a wall, a defensive way of being around them that gives you the idea of protection. And then at some point on the path, that has to be met. And that's when it starts getting real juicy, because it stops being any mental idea, stops being spirituality as a mental idea, and it starts piercing the defensive structures, that have kept us apparently protected. And at some point on the path, in my experience, at some point on the path that needs to be met. Otherwise, and this is the thing about spiritual bypassing, to be honest, is like you end up with a spirituality that isn't fully embodied. When embodied doesn't just mean going into the body, but it does also mean coming into the body, because coming into the body is coming into meet everything that has been denied in the past. Every aspect of us, everything wants to come home. If there's stuff in your heart, if there's old wounding in your heart, and only you will know that by being able to be honest with yourself. Nobody else can ever know that for you. That's the journey we make with ourselves. If there's wounding in the heart, then it wants to come home to you. It wants to come home to the fullness of you. It wants to come home to the light of you. It wants to come home to be allowed to be let go of. Everything within us that is being denied or held in the shadows wants to come home.